Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to another episode review for the last night's episode of Fear the Walking Dead, or episodes, rather. This was Season 3, Episode 1, and Season 3, Episode 2, the 2-hour season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. This was crazy, guys. All right, first of all, the 2 episode titles. Episode 1 was Eye of the Beholder. Episode 2 was The New Frontier. Now, if you guys missed my episode predictions, make sure you guys go check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description below. This was crazy. It really was. I thought this episode was fantastic. Like, there's no other way to put it. This episode was above and beyond what we've seen before from Fear the Walking Dead. Now, what we're usually used to from Fear the Walking Dead is a very slow pace. You know, it's sort of climbs and climbs and climbs, climaxes, and then sort of declines, and then climbs again, climax. You know, the climax is never really for that long, to say the least. Okay, it usually goes on maybe for an episode, if that, and it usually doesn't really put out a big big climax. To be honest, it's usually pretty small, and then they just they move on, right? This episode was crazy, guys. This 2-hour season premiere, they needed the 2-hour season premiere for starters, just to kick it off with a bang because of the slower past seasons. And these 2 episodes right here, guys, these 2 episodes were more action-packed than what we've seen in the last 2 seasons, which is crazy to say the least, okay? These 2 episodes, in my personal opinion, were the best episodes of Fear the Walking Dead yet. That's my personal opinion. Not everybody will agree with me. But for me, these episodes were crazy. They were insane. And I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Spoilers, guys. Just be warned. You know, it's an episode review. That's, it kind of comes with it. There's spoilers, right? So if you guys haven't watched it, make sure you guys click away from the video now, go watch it, come back, and then we'll talk about what happened, which was quite a bit. So the first episode sort of entailed them really getting captured and then getting out of captivity. So basically, there was like a military base. This is a really quick breakdown, by the way. It's not a recap, it's just a review. Alright, guys, so the first hour of television here for Fear the Walking Dead really included us really getting to know what is going on, with them getting captured by the military and this new group that we come stumbling upon. And, we really, this is how they all end up back together. This is how they reunite with Nick and, Alicia and Travis and Madison. This is basically how they all reunite, is them getting captured. So technically, it's a good thing, obviously, that they got them back together with Nick and stuff, but at the same time, they're captured, right? So anyways, we get to find out that this group basically takes in survivors, and unfortunately, Nick's girlfriend did get shot by them. But right off the bat, we get like a vibe that something's going on here that's really, really bad. And there is, but at the same time, the core group stands for a good purpose. There's people in there that don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And then, there's people in there that obviously do know what's going on behind the scenes. For example, the main leader there, which is like, he's supposed to be like the main villain or sort of thing of this, at least of this episode. To put it in much simpler terms, this guy is basically sent here to be the leader, but at the same time, he's sent here to gather intel on, what makes people turn into walkers, how long it takes, stuff like this, but he's going about it in a very different way than what his father, obviously intended him to do. And that is literally just killing people, putting them in a bathroom area, and just executing them. They're having fun with it. And, that's pretty much it. That's where Travis ends up. They take Travis to that bathroom area to be killed. He there finds Nick and his girlfriend, Luciana. I almost forgot her name there. It just came back to me. And, obviously she's almost dead. She got shot in at the end of season 2, rather. And, not looking great for her, but this is where they reunite, Travis and Nick and Luciana. And they basically end up escaping there. They team up with a couple of guys and they get out through the sewers. And I thought it was a really great scene because it really just showed how far Travis and Nick and everybody like that, like their family, is willing to go to keep each other safe. Like, there's a few people, you know, for tons and tons of hours, like I would say at least a day, that just kept getting taken from the little group that they were sitting with and being executed basically right in front of them. You know what I mean? And that, you know, obviously was probably a little bit hard to watch for them, you know, and they were really just biding their time. They don't really care about anybody else other than their own family, which is fair enough. You know, it's this new world. That's what they have to do. They can't constantly care about other people, you know. Unfortunately, I had to watch people get executed in order for them to get an opportunity, you know, to really escape. And that's what they did. So Travis played possum and, you know, basically asked to be killed before Nick and, but you know, before Nick rather. Yeah, I was going to say Luciana, but she didn't get picked. Anyway, so Travis was going to get killed. Obviously, you know, he pulled some really cool, sick moves on them and, got out of it along with this guy. And they went through the sewers. Travis got left behind, basically got captured again. From there, Nick and Luciana were going through the sewers. And they finally come to the end of the sewer, only to open it to find a herd of walkers trying to get in at them. So they have to backtrack. They ended up getting attacked by a walker. Nick almost died, and Alicia actually found Nick basically screaming for help down in the sewer, and she dropped her butterfly knife. By the way, she's super badass with a butterfly knife. Like, super sick. Like, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. All the while, Madison was basically taking a spoon to the villain's eye. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, guys. I really can't. But taking a spoon to his eye and basically asking them, you know, him rather, where her family was. That's all she wants. She just wants her family, and then she wants to go. That's it. You know, I'm not asking for any supplies. I'm not asking for your shit, you know. Not Negan the fuck out of you. Just give me my people back and we'll get the hell out of here. It's as simple as that. And she took literally a spoon to this guy's eye, which was crazy to say the least. It really was. I thought it was a cool scene. You know, she had the spoon basically in his eye the whole time. It was just threatening him, you know, constantly torquing on it. And yeah, it was a great scene. They did a really good job with like the whole eye spoon thing. I thought it was great. You know, you gotta take advantage of your surroundings. If you see a spoon, use it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have anything else, you get a spoon. And, I mean, that's pretty much all you can ask for. Anyway, at that time, Travis was taken when he was captured again. After he got away the first time, he got captured and basically got taken to a walker pit, which is a fun way to say, we're gonna throw you down there and we're gonna see if you can survive. And this is when we first get to see Travis really come out of his shell, to be honest. Like, we knew that there was like a guy in there, like a really badass guy in there, but at the same time, it's always sort of been hidden. So to my point, all right, Travis fought off all of the walkers and managed to get out of there when Madison got there, when they brought Madison to her, or to him rather. And then after that, they all reunited. Nick was there because he was getting dragged, and Alicia was there as well, and they all reunited. And they were basically going to get a vehicle and their supplies and their guns and all that out of there because the guy who was originally the villain, you know, his brother got there, which is obviously a much nicer person. His brother got there, found out basically what his brother was doing, you know, killing people and stuff like that, and basically tore into him and, you know, basically explained you can't be doing that shit, you know, and then basically promised Madison and her family, you know, a way out. He promised her guns back and her weapons and her people, and actually gave her a car as well to get the hell out of there. But before they were about to escape, the entire place, which by the way, remember the walkers were coming in the sewer, the entire place got overrun by those exact same walkers, and they were left getting split up again. So Travis, Alicia, and Luciana, sorry, almost forgot again. It's that, you know, she was in the episode, you know, but she didn't really get featured too much because, you know, she's sort of almost dead type of thing. So it's been a while. I apologize. But Luciana, they all went into a helicopter because that's the closest exit they had. So they went into the helicopter with the good brother, and Madison and Nick, who were fighting off walkers at the time. Madison got pinned and Nick tried to help her. Basically got into the truck with the villain brother type thing. All right. So they went off, and they're basically supposed to meet up at a farm. And that's basically where the first episode ends. Okay. Now, obviously that's in a nutshell. I thought it was a really good episode. I really did. I thought that it was great all the way around. It's basically set at that compound the entire episode, which is fine. You know, it doesn't really matter too much. We've had a lot of episodes of The Walking Dead where it's set in one specific area and it always turns out to be good nonetheless. I thought it was a great episode. I really did. I thought it was a really solid first hour. Like, I really did. I thought that it was good. Probably the best episode that we've seen of Fear the Walking Dead yet, until the second episode. Second episode was, I think, personally, I don't know. I wouldn't say better in terms of action. You know, I think that it was a little slower in terms of action because they just sort of fought off a herd of walkers. So, you know, how much better, you know, could that be? They did keep it up, though. They did keep it up with the shocks and, you know, all that stuff. Kicking it off with Travis, Alicia, and Luciana, and the good brother, and obviously a pilot, in a helicopter, all right, heading towards the farm. And the helicopter, at nighttime, all of a sudden started getting shot at. People were shooting at it with bullets. We don't know who it was that were shooting at it. We have no idea, all right? We don't have any idea at this point, but I have a feeling we're probably going to find out. It's probably another group that's, you know, I don't know, maybe just seen a helicopter, wanted to fuck with it, or I have no idea what it could be. You know, I really don't. Maybe some enemies of the farm that they're going to. Who knows? You know, we have no idea at this point. We don't have any info or input on who was shooting at the helicopter, but nonetheless, they were shooting at the helicopter, and unfortunately, Travis caught one in the neck. Okay? Spoiler alerts, guys. I told you before. Spoiler alerts, okay? Now, he caught one in the neck. He sort of held it there. At first glance, it didn't really look like a fatal wound, and I really don't think that it was. It sort of looked just like a graze, or, you know, maybe a little bit deeper, so it would, you know, put him into shock or something like that, which he definitely was in shock, because he was saying, help me, but it didn't really look too drastic. It sort of, to me, it looked like a graze. It looked like he would just get patched up and he'd be totally fine. I could be totally wrong, though. Nonetheless, though, after the helicopter was getting shot, it started spiraling out of control, and Travis took it upon himself to basically, since he figured, you know, he might be dead, which, again, I don't know if necessarily he would have died, because to me, again, it looked like a graze. It could have went through and through. I don't know. I have no idea. It sort of looked like a graze to me, like I said. But nonetheless, he sort of accepted that. He got out of his chair. He took the seatbelt off and everything. And, there was a lot of blood, to be fair, you know, it definitely could have been a through and through shot. We have no idea, though. We will unfortunately never find out if he would have died from that gunshot wound because, again, he took off his seatbelt, he opened the helicopter door, and just as Alicia got out of her seat to try to, you know, calm him down and, you know, stop him and just, you know, take it easy, Travis, you know, he fell backwards out of the helicopter to his death. So Travis, guys, is dead. I'm not sure exactly what made them pull the trigger on killing Travis, you know, so early in the series. I mean, it's season 3, you know, it's not like it's season 1 or anything like that, but at the same time, you know, that was one of our main characters. So it was, to me, kind of hard to watch him go. Not necessarily as hard as it would have been watching a main character of The Walking Dead go at this point, because we're 7 seasons in. But it was hard to watch him go. You know, he made it through all this. You know, he made it through the Walker pit. Again, he got split from Madison. Once again, he's constantly getting split from her, and they were going to meet up at the farm. And, unfortunately, he didn't make it. So, I mean, he jumped out of the helicopter. At the same time, you know, he was sort of distraught and in shock. Maybe that could be why, you know, he sort of took those measures. But at the same time, I'd like to think that he sort of jumped out of the helicopter so that the helicopter would lose some of its weight and maybe get back on track and stop spinning out of control, and basically sacrificing himself because he figured maybe he was dead anyways from the gunshot wound, which, again, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if it would have been, because it kind of looked like a graze. I don't want to say that too many times, but I probably already did. So anyways, nonetheless, everybody, that's how they kicked off the episode. Yeah. So that's it. Travis is dead. Rip Travis. Nonetheless, though, the rest of the episode was, again, it was action packed. There were some scenes in there that were really cool. We got to see Alicia sort of become a badass with a gun and start shooting that thing and killing walkers off, and, you know, saving that good brother's life. And of course, the helicopter, they had to land that because there was too much damage to it via the bullets, and they ended up losing the pilot, you know, his best friend. Again, I don't remember their names, I apologize, but nonetheless, They ended up carrying Luciana to the farm, and Madison got there, obviously, first. Madison and Nick, they didn't really know whether or not to trust these people. They ended up doing it anyways, you know. I think a quote from Madison was to, like, just eat shit and like it for now, you know, until we really get to find out where our people are. And nonetheless, though, I mean, I think the first episode was way more action-packed and recap-worthy than the second episode, because, again, the second episode sort of took place at the farm, Madison, and, you know, her meeting everybody there, and they got a house there as well, like a little cabin or a shack type thing, and they really got settled down, and they were basically, her and Nick were waiting for Travis, Alicia, Luciana, and the brother to get home, and unfortunately they never did, other than Alicia, Luciana, and the brother. Travis obviously didn't come. She found out about that, I would say, roughly 2/3 of the way through the episode, and she didn't really take it too hard. You could see that she was upset, obviously, but at the same time, she knows that she has to stay strong, you know, for her kids, and she doesn't want to get taken advantage of through these people, and, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, it was definitely rough, you know, losing Travis like that, because, like I said, it was just random. Getting shot out of a helicopter like that, and then just being in shock and maybe sacrificing himself. I would have thought Travis might have died in a more heroic way, but at the same time, maybe we could think that, you know, if he didn't jump, that the helicopter would have crashed and everybody would have died. So that's pretty heroic, I guess. You know, that's pretty heroic. So, nonetheless, though, that episode was definitely pretty cool. Another person we got to see that episode was Strand, basically trying to pretend to be a doctor so that he could earn his place and, you know, really get everybody there to trust him who wanted into the hotel. Obviously, he didn't leave the hotel. Remember, he's still back at the hotel. So he ended up delivering a baby, which was pretty cool. So we get to see Strand's point of view here. And I'm more excited to see Strand in his storyline, because I don't know that Strand and Madison are going to meet up very soon. So, you know, there's sort of the whole Madison and Nick and Alicia and, you know, all that storyline back at the farm now. But at the same time, apart from that, we have Strand now on his own journey. He was at the hotel, and then he got a key to a car from the girl who actually stabbed him in the first place back in season 2, as like that wedding gift, you know. I thought that was pretty cool. So he got a car, a little bit of a comic relief point there. When he went down, he's seen the car, you know, my color, my style, you know. I thought that was pretty cool, and he's pretty happy. And I would like to see where Strand goes from here. What's going to happen? Is he going to get captured? I mean, it sure as hell looks like it in some of the promos and the teasers that we've seen for this season. But as of right now, you know, all's good with Strand. All's good with Strand. But I still can't believe we lost Travis, man. I really can't. Another thing was actually a lot of tension between Nick and the Bad Brother. Again, I would love to know their names. I totally forgot, but it's probably in here somewhere if I looked through it. Let me see. I think it was, yeah, Jake's the good brother. Okay, his name's Jake. That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Troy? I'm thinking Troy. Troy's probably the Bad Brother. So we're going to go with Troy. I think it's Troy. So yeah, Troy and Nick definitely had some confrontation, especially when Luciana got there. You know, she's basically dead already. And he had a good point. You know, no one goes into the community when they're literally about to die, because then they could turn and, you know, kill some people in that community. But at the same time, he was going to execute her out there on the outside. But at the same time, Luciana wasn't dead yet, and there's still time to save her. And plus, he's the one who shot her in the first place, to be fair. So there was a little bit of tension there. Nick had a gun, pointed it at him, basically explained, I just want you to save her life. And the father there at the farm basically convinced him to hand the gun over in exchange. You know, she would get to the infirmary and she would be taken care of. All right. So that was that. There's sort of an understanding there. I'm really not sure. You know, I'm really not sure what's going on, you know, with the whole farm situation there. I don't know whether or not to trust them. I think Jake, the good brother, I think he actually has really good intentions. I don't think there's anything bad about him. But do we know if Troy, you know, is bad all the way? And do we know maybe if his father sort of endorses that? I have no idea. I would like to believe that Jake is totally cool, because I actually kind of like his character. But at the same time, you know, Troy, you know, we know he's sort of villainish, but is he the only one there that's villainish? You know, is his father, did he get that from his father? These are all questions that I definitely personally want answered, and hopefully, you know, that happens. So nonetheless, guys, that was my episode review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This was season 3, episode 1 and episode 2, entitled Eye of the Beholder and the New Frontier. Thank you all so much for watching. I know it was, you know, that was scrambled, guys. I apologize. There was a lot that happened. It was a 2-hour premiere, okay? It was a 2-hour premiere. We usually get more into it when there's only one episode, but again, I sort of had to, I didn't want to make this video like 40 minutes long, so I apologize. Nonetheless, though, thank you all so much for watching, and again, these 2 episodes were outstanding. If this is any indication of what we're going to see here with season 3, this is going to be freaking awesome. Alright, if you guys didn't like season 1 or 2, I'm telling you, give season 3 premiere a good shot, because I'm telling you, if you like The Walking Dead, you sure as shit should like this. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.